Well, hello grade 6s, soon to be 7s. Here we are outside and we are doing this just like we do for the transition meeting. We split up into groups and everybody's assigned to a different leader and they go through the school. The one thing different is that we're starting here and you can see me in the reflection of the door there. And you can see outside it's a beautiful day. But we're gonna head into the school. I'll just take you in here. So imagine you're walking in the front door. We're opening the door and we look to our left and this is the office. And so we're just gonna skip on through into the common area.
And you come through the front doors and then you end up in what's called our common area. And if you take a look, we're just going to do a quick scan. Our common area is really quite large. If you look, it's perhaps a little bit busy in terms of stuff, and we'll explain that as we're going around. But what's most important here is that standing right here in front of this pillar, there's the floor, Mr. Teskey and myself and Mrs. Yeaman will be standing and we'll be able to direct you exactly where you need to go. And we'll have posted on the walls around here, grade 7 class list, grade 8, grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. We'll direct you to that and it'll tell you exactly what classroom to go to. And then we'll have you sitting in that classroom for the entire morning. So if we look at this part of the common area, which is generally one of the areas where junior high students will sit for the most part, eating their lunch. But we also have designated classrooms for you to sit in for grade 7. And just so that you're close to your peer group and you don't have to worry about finding a seat. If you want to sit in this area and you're comfortable with that, you're certainly welcome to do so. Down here is where we have our wall of words, I call it. And we have our mission statement. And these are one of the things that direct us as a school. So we come up to our mission statement, inspiring a caring and courageous community of lifelong learners and empowering global citizens for generation. And this is one of the things that kind of drives us in terms of our purpose with respect to working with teens and getting them ready to graduate and move on to post-secondary or out into the real world. And we come down here. And if you see up here on the walls, we've got the grad photos that take place every year. We're not quite sure how that's going to work out this year. You see all kinds of stuff on the tables here, like the mousetrap cars is what they call them, and we just had a bunch of races. And over on this side here, we actually have a cafeteria where you can get lunch. All these garbage bags, they're not usually here, but these are just lockers that have been emptied out and they need yet to be picked up by students. We had 460 lockers, so this isn't too bad actually for what's left. We take a look up here. This is our vision statement for the school, to engage possibilities and embrace potential. And our goal is to give you as much opportunity to experience things that you haven't experienced before, and opportunity to try things you haven't tried before, so you can find those gifts and talents that you have that maybe you don't even know that you have yet. And then we want to give you an opportunity to exploit that gift or that talent. If you look up top, we got all of these flags. And we have people that come to us from all over the world, and each flag is representative of a different country that's attended school here. And then you'll see all of these languages up here, welcoming students in multiple languages that have been represented in our school as well. And you'll find, you know, it's a little bit nerve-wracking being a grade 6 student moving into grade 7. And you think, oh, the big school and the big people. But you'll find you're not going to have an issue at all. Nothing to worry about in regards to, grade 10s, grade 11s, and grade 12s. They leave you alone, you know, so nothing to worry about. There's our office, looking out from the common area. We're going to come down this hallway. One of our trophy cases. There's a cake that was handmade by Korean students when they were here studying foods, and we've had all kinds of cool things over the years. We got an interesting wall here, and this wall is where we take international students. We have them put their handprints on the wall and designate what country that they've come from. And then you'll see special murals in the gymnasium associated with students putting their thumbprints on the walls. Over here on this side is the entrance to the main kitchen. We'll take a look at that in a second. And then we come down here, off to our left here. This is the staff room. If we come through these doors, this is what we call our breezeway. And the breezeway here takes us into our dormitory where we have international students from all over the world. And we have up to 60 or 70 students in there at a time. We're not sure what that's going to look like for this September based on everything that's going on with COVID, but hopefully they're an important and vital part of our school. We come over here to the Foods Lab. And this is an area that you'll have an opportunity to have an option for. And I apologize in terms of its condition right now. Mr. Hatch would probably be your teacher, and you may have heard of Mr. Hatch. And basically we teach everything from grade 7 right through to grade 12 with respect to foods. And we have 4 kitchens in here. And we get to use some industrial equipment. So it plays a really important role. So again, I do apologize. They're just starting to do their cleanup in here, and as a result, of course, we've had to do all of that without kids, and because they're extra pairs of hands. We got our active board in there and all that kind of stuff. Now, I think I'm going to go around the other way to get you into the main kitchen. It says "Do not enter," and this is sort of the industrial part of the kitchen. And you won't work in this part probably until you're in senior high. And we've got our service line here with our hot tables and everything. And then you come around here, we got an industrial dishwasher. And then we come over here and we've got all of our industrial equipment. So basically we cook 3 meals a day plus 2 snacks for our international students. And then this space is used when we do large banquets like our seniors dinner. This year coming up will be our 27th annual senior dinner. And then this door here takes you into a walk-in fridge. And that door takes you into a walk-in freezer. So have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you.
So we're just gonna enter the gym, and I'll give you a little tour of the gym if you haven't been here before. Of course, we have all of our bleachers, and those will be opened as we need for assemblies, or if we have sporting events and those types of things that we need more seating space. And this is the gym. And we have a line of doors on the one wall. The change rooms are in there. And then upstairs, we also have the weight room, and I'll take you up there as well. So on the side of the gym here, we have a flight of stairs. And up top here is the weight room. It's also Mr. Messum's office. And we have lots of equipment. And it's really nice and bright. You can see out into the field here. And also down into the gym. So change rooms, girls and the boys. And I'll just show you what the change rooms look like. We're gonna enter, we have some hooks and things. And of course, we have some washroom stalls and some shower stalls for any students who wish to use. You will notice in here there are no lockers, okay? So we don't want students to bring in any items that are valuable. You use your regular school locker for those things. And most students just bring a separate bag with their shoes and gym strip, and that's all they need for this space. If you were curious what the boys' change room looks like, pretty much identical as the girls. You just have a little bit different paint color in here, but again, no lockers. Just bring your gym clothes into the gym here and change. On this side of the gym, on the far wall. We also have doors to go outside. Sometimes we go outside for gym class. And you can see we have the football field right out here and baseball diamond. So we are at the front of the school here at the bus loop in the front doors. There's a place here to eat lunch if you want, or before or after school, just a nice place with picnic tables. And we have our student parking lot, and just outside of that, as I mentioned, we go outside for gym class sometimes if the weather is cooperating and it's beautiful outside. So we have outdoor basketball hoops here, and we also have tennis courts as well.
And we're gonna head down this way. And this is also part of the common area. And we see stairs right here on your left as you proceed. And straight ahead, you see our word wall, which has all words on there that people have put together, and we made this Wordle, and this defines our school. And right next to it, we have this elevator, and the elevator is for staff only and students who have a cast or are in a wheelchair and things like that. We don't allow students to use the elevator unless they do have an accident or something like that, and we don't want them using the stairs. Now, what I always tell people is that the lower level, the upper level are pretty much identical as far as the hallway structure. It's one big square. And if we just look back to the way we came from and that stairwell you saw, we're going to consider that as one corner of the square. And it's important for people to know that in every corner of this square, the four corners, there's a stairwell to get upstairs or downstairs. And we're just going to proceed this way. And I'm going to pan over to my right and walk down the stair or this hallway. And at the end of the hallway, you can see that door, and that goes into the stairwell as well as the entrance to the theater. We'll get there in a minute. But on my right here is where the student washrooms are. And if you were upstairs directly above, you would see another set of student washrooms. And we're gonna just turn around and go into the wood shop here. And this is one of my favorite rooms to go in because I love the smell. And you can see that in our time right now, we have some staff who are working on things. So there's things out. Normally it's very, very clean, but you can see there's projects going on. I know Mr. Hatch and Mr. Sanderson are working on building tables. And there's other teachers as well doing some projects. So Miss Sullivan, who does the wood shop, construction class for junior high, and she runs a tight ship in here because there's a lot of equipment that is dangerous, we'll say, but it's not dangerous if you learn how to use this equipment properly, safely, and that's the beginning portion of the class. Once you get in the wood shop, you have a lot of fun building the various projects in here. Back out the door and proceed down the hall. Now we just walk down the hall, and right next to the shop is our band room. We'll come into the band room. I'm going to turn on some lights, and you can see we have a beautiful band room. As far as space goes, we got nice high ceilings. This is well designed for the acoustics due to the music that's going on. And you can see the various instruments that are played. And often right here in this open space would be the chairs set up. You see these chairs right here, and on the back of them it says DCHS band. Normally we have them set out, or Mr. Kowski does anyway. Those chairs that are stacked right there, they're right in the middle here, and that's where the class gathers and plays music. Now upstairs here is also part of the band room, and I'm gonna just walk you up here because we have an amazing space up here. There's actually 3 spaces. And what these spaces are little mini practice rooms. And the light should come on automatically. There we go. You don't even have to touch the light switch. But you see, we have these these little mini practice rooms where students can go and practice working on their instrument in small groups or individually. And right here we have another one. Lights off. But if I walk right in, the light comes on. And then there's a third one down here, right beside. And you can see they're set up in little different ways for the various instruments and people who play them. And we'll proceed back downstairs. At the beginning of the year, when you are assigned your locker, you will have a lock already on it, and you will go to your first class in the morning, and there will be an orientation there with your teacher, and that's where you will get your locker number, and the teacher will also give you the com. And so then you would put your stuff there. So we would want you to go directly to your class at that time. Here we have Miss Sikowski's classroom, where she teaches. And right beside are another set of student washrooms. And like I said earlier, right above, if you were on the upper floor, you would have another set of washrooms there. So those 4 washrooms, this one, the one down the hall that we've seen earlier, and the 2 upstairs are the student washrooms for the school. Okay. Right here, this goes into the theater where we started our tour. Anyway, this takes you backstage of the theater, and this is where we had it, but our projector screen is up now. And then you have the theater, and there's the sound booth, lighting booth up at the back. Okay, and back to the hallway. And as you see when we step out of the theater, go back the direction we were earlier walking to the end of this square, and you see there's a corner here and the stairwell here. And I'll just poke my head into the stairwell so you can see. So, like I said, in the corner, or this corner of the square, there's the stairs going upstairs. And these are the doors right here that students would use normally when they're called for a presentation or something in the theater. These are the doors that you would use. I'm going to just take you in, and this is the lobby of the theater. It's a nice little space. These are the doors that you would go into the theater. We do not allow food and drinks, as per the signs there. So Kaleidoscope shares this space with us, and this is where they have their concession booth and their coat rack and productions that they've done over the years posted on the wall. And that is the ticket booth, or what they call the box office. And we'll step out again. And here we are in the stairwell. Go through the doors, and we're just gonna go this way and continue on around the square. And you see more lockers. So this is the drama room, and this is where drama class often takes place. You can see in this drama room, there's costumes. We have this mini practice stage. We also have this green screen, so you can do different videos and create the background that you want. We've done various things. We've had a school news team in the past do news productions for the school. Moving back down the hall, and again, this is just another door going into that same room we were just in. And on our right, we have some doors that normally stay locked throughout the day that go into the library, as you can see. And that's where actually we're gonna end our tour. And you can see down at the other end, there are the doors that we use for the library normally. And moving along to this room, and it says, the more you use creativity, the more you have. And this, as you can probably see, is our sewing room. And so, in that other video that I sent home for you to fill out your Google form to select your options, I talked about the foods/sewing option. So this is where students will do the sewing portion of that class for half of a semester. Okay, next, our Cosmo Lab. And so it's not an option that's available to you students for next year, but you can look forward to it when you get into grade 9. There's the teacher's desk. And if you don't want to take it in 9, you can take it in high school. There's plenty of opportunity in grades 10 through 12. So we have multiple stations set up. They have their mannequins that they work on, hair washing stations, and all that kind of stuff. So we're really well set up with a beautiful Cosmo Lab for our students who want to take that opportunity. Another stairwell at the corner. And this just has the stairs and then the doors proceeding to the south parking lot where teachers park. And that's also where some of the buses, I can just show you, will line up at the end of the day. There's a few that pick up students at the front of the school where we started this tour. And then you will see out on the road there, buses will line up there at the end of the day to pick up students. So that's where you will board your bus. So in the winter time, students will often be at these doors waiting inside if they're waiting for a bus, because some buses are lined up right at the end of the day and then they leave, and then some buses come back after they've dropped kids off. And so they're kids that are waiting for their bus to come. If it's cold, they'll wait inside or in that other stairwell where the theater was. But right now we're going into what you can see as a computer. Well, when the doors are closed, it says Lab 1. So this is Lab 1 of 3 labs. I'll turn the light on. So we have 3 computer labs. Sometimes our middle lab is used as a classroom in the mornings if we need some extra classroom space. But when you look, boy oh boy, do we have computers. And the dividers are all opened up. Normally they are closed. So we have 3 individual computer labs that teachers can book for their class if they want to. So it's a very versatile space, very well set up, and very well used, for sure. So I'm just going to proceed back to Lab 1, where we entered from the hallway. And at the back of each lab, there's doors that come into the computer labs. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's doors that go into the library. which is very well designed. And again, we'll get to the library later. And I'm just going to leave those lights on for now. But here we are in the corner. Stairwell there. And we will proceed down this hallway now. We have the two levels of the school, the lower level, which we're on, and the upper level upstairs, which Mrs. Yeaman is going to show you. The lower level room numbers are all 100 room numbers. So you can see this one is 131. Upper level, level 2, start with the 2, and they're the 200 room numbers. So on your schedule, if you have any room numbers that are 100 room numbers, they're downstairs. 200 room numbers are upstairs, and they're all in order, so you can just walk around the square to find your classroom. So it's very hard to get lost. Very easy to find your way. And like Mr. Lapierre said, you'll have that mastered probably in the first couple days of school. This here is room 129, and this is Miss Salvatore's room. And Miss Salvatore is our family resource worker. So she's got a nice office in there as well. And right here we have Lab 2, right across from Miss Salvatore's office, where you would normally, or where we expect students to enter the labs from the hall. So if you're going to Lab 2, we would like you to enter from the hallway through these doors. If you were entering Lab 1, which is where we came from, we want you to enter through those doors in the hall. And continuing on to the other corner, and what do we see? Another stairwell. But before we get there, again, 128, Miss Palamaki's room. And right here is room 125, Mr. Metcalf's room. And essentially you'll notice, oh my goodness, there's Mrs. Palamaki. And she's wearing our dino mask. She's giving you a thumbs up. She's so excited to have you guys in August, jumping up and down. But we're gonna have her talk to you a little bit later. Have a good day, Mrs. Palamaki. She normally doesn't look like that. There we go. This is the hallway where you will find your lockers probably. And when you come on the very first day, Mrs. Palamaki's room, half of you probably will have her first thing in the morning, and that's the room you will go to. And we're not sure which the other room will be, but on that first day, she will, if you have her for the morning, she will walk you through another orientation. Right here in the corner beside Mr. Metcalf's room, normally 122 comes after 121, not 125, but this whole room here is room 121 with rooms 122, 123, and 124 inside. Now this is our counseling area. We have in the mornings on Tuesdays to Thursdays from 9 in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Mrs. Teskey, my wife, is our career counselor. That is her office. This office is Miss Palamaki's office for the afternoons when she has her counseling time. So next to that one is room 124, and that's Mrs. Gill's office, and she's another one of our counselors. So we have lots of counseling services available for students, and we will proceed. And as you can see, there's the entrance to Lab 3 where we were, and like I said, the stairwell with the door going outside, and that door just leads to the front of the school where we started our tour. Right there. Okay, back to the hallway. And then we have Mr. Foster's room, room 118. Oh, and there's Mr. Foster waving.
Good afternoon. Well, I look forward to you guys coming here.
Have a good day. And here we are back in the common area. And go into the library. And as you can see, we have a stunning library. Beautiful, wide open space. But anyway, it's still pretty bright where you can see. Now this desk here is where Mrs. Burrows works. She's our librarian. And you would proceed to her for signing out books. And as you can see, we have plenty of books. Libraries adjacent to Mr. Ham's classroom. Upper level, which Mrs. Eamon will talk about. But right here, oh, the sun's kind of glaring at us. We have Lily the dinosaur. Now, Lily the dinosaur is an Albertosaurus. She was donated to our school from the Terrell Museum. And an interesting fact is that Lily the dinosaur was the very first exhibit piece that they had in the museum when they originally opened up. Then, just prior to our big renovation to the school, when we underwent it was actually about $19 to $20 million renovation. At that time, the museum was looking up for a place for Lily, and we ended up getting her. So we're very fortunate and we're very proud of Lily the dinosaur. Directly above Lily the dinosaur, we have this huge skylight that is just beautiful for bringing in natural light into our library and to those interior classrooms that would normally not have access to natural light, which is also why they have those windows there. But we have tables in the library, couches. Often you'll see students working away in small groups, individually, studying, that kind of thing, working with our support staff in here. So it's an active place, but it's a beautiful place. I'm going to just walk you down to the end of the library here, and as we're going, I'll just pan to my right, and as you can see, we are now right adjacent to the 3 computer labs that we were in earlier. And right here, we have our tree of virtues. DVSS Connections 2015 produced the Tree of Virtues, which is filled with positive self-worth statements written by students from grades 7 to 12, as well as teachers. And you can see all those little pink blossoms. And that's how we got our Tree of Virtues. And right beside, we have our totem pole, which was donated to us. I believe it was the first year that we moved back into the school after the renovation. If it wasn't the first year, it might have been 1 or 2 years after that, but this was made by inmates at the penitentiary and donated to the school. And we had a smudging ceremony when, or shortly after, this was installed. We had an elder come to lead that smudging ceremony. Anyway, that gives you a sense of the lower level of the floor of the school. I hope you enjoyed this tour. And I'm not sure if this is the last video or the first or the second, but like Mr. Lapierre said when we were all in the theater, we hope to have you here in August for another tour, if all things go well. But that one would hopefully be in person. I really look forward to seeing you in the fall. Have a wonderful summer.
So we're gonna go up to the second floor and show you some really neat things up there as well at DVSS. And this is just this main stairwell from the main entrance area. So we're gonna take a little trip upstairs. All right, so we have just got to the second floor here. Right at the top of the stairs, this is the doorway you saw, we have just a big square up here. So there's a seating area that you can relax here. This is just across from it, mostly the grade 12 lockers. And we have boys and girls washrooms and a water fountain. And right at the very end of this hallway too, there's another set of washrooms, along with all of the grad murals and classrooms up here as well. So if we go the other direction from the stairwell, we have the elevator for any students who need to get to the second floor. We also, as we come down this hallway, have our lookout to the library. So we can see the library there. And we have our Rachel's Challenge wall with some student handprints. There's Lillian down there. And then across from here, one of the special places in the upstairs is our art room. So this is Miss Johnson's art room. Chairs are up, of course, because we don't have students right now. But she does some wonderful art things in here. You can see some examples. So everything from clay to painting to drawing, all types of avenues of artistic display. And here's our kiln. As I said, we can fire pottery as well, so pretty great. So another neat space in our upstairs is the science lab. You can see we're gonna go through our wall here, and we're gonna take a look at one of the two science labs. I'll take you over to the other one as well. This one is attached to Mrs. Olson and Mrs. Gill's room. We just walked through Mrs. Olson's wall here, doorway wall. And this is Mrs. Gill's side. So you can see she's got her wall open to the lab right now, but that can open and close, as I mentioned, just depending on what's needed and what the activities for the day are. So we're in the second science lab upstairs. Again, this one is shared by two classrooms. You can see that Mr. Rasmussen has his wall open. Of course, he has pretty amazing fish tank as well in his room. But again, just another place to do some of that science experiment stuff. So upstairs as well, again, as I mentioned, we have past grad murals that have been created on the walls here, and another seating area for students. And we are on the opposite side of the square, so of course there's the library lookout, and you can see that Lillian is faced the other direction. Just a little snapshot of outside, more for parents as well, but you'll notice that we do have a bus lane and we have a loop. So one side is entrance only. Can't wait to see you grade 6s.